Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. This one's probably going to be a shorter video as I just wanted to get it in before the match sim starts between Sydney and GWS in a matter of minutes. So I may actually be looking down just slightly at my phone, just seeing the first initial CVAs when this recording goes on, as it starts in about 5 minutes, but it will probably be a short video here, just going through the options as I've done that with the midfield and the defence. So I thought the forward line should be a sort of point that I go through, as well as we came out with the Sydney injury list, and I can tell you right now there are some forwards that have just piqued my interest a little bit in that regard. But anyway, let's just jump into this video here. So the forward line, most people are probably going to start with. I think the forward line is going to give you the ability to start with two rookies on field. Hewitt being one of them. I think Stone does get a run in that back line. They've signed him for they re-signed him, the VFL Player of the Year. He could have easily gone to another club, and I feel like there was sort of an not an impromptu. I feel like there was a discussion there that there is a role there for you immediately, because I feel like he would have gone to another club and played straight away. So I feel like that's the reason why he's there. Obviously, you can see on my bench currently, there's a lot of money there just because I'm trying not to get myself stuck on a structure, and to have a lot more money in the bank, it sort of gives me that feel, I guess, there as well. But yeah, so most people are going to have the four of McRae, Sanders, Smith, and Daniel. I think that Smith may not present the utmost value if he's playing on the wing, but I have a feeling that he's still going to be 20 points of value. And also the fact of the matter is that there's kind of no one else to go to in that forward line. So I feel like he's going to be a guy that you kind of need to select almost, even if you don't like it exactly. Caleb Daniel, obviously obvious. Elijah Hewitt's been training there. He has to start. Like, there's no way. I feel like he would leave almost West Coast if he didn't start with the way he's been, or people have been talking about in preseason. But we know the rookies can change dramatically. And then I talked about Connor Stone there as well. And then on the bench, you've got guys like Hutchinson, Curtin, if we just go to the forwards, and then the 200 to 300k bracket. The thing about this is, much differently to what I said about the back line yesterday, is that in the forward line, Heath, don't think he's going to play, but you got Berry going to play, Davidson going to play, Charleston might not, Livingston probably won't, Hall probably will play early on, it looks like, as a small forward. Not the best role, but still should have some peak games, which he'll gain some cash gen. So he's not going to have the perfect role, but he's still going to allow you to have someone there that you can potentially go to. Moya probably will get games early on, I would think, unless he's injured and I missed it. And then also Corey Warner as well, someone that I'm really, really intrigued to see how it goes. And that's why I'm trying to watch it here as they're just going through their warm-ups and watch how Corey Warner plays, where he's playing. Because with the injuries, and I might as well, I'll actually just segue slightly into Sydney Swans. Go to latest news, and then we'll go to injury update and how this is going to impact it. So Lloyd, that's just precautionary. Buller, he's not going to play, but also that's he looks maybe round 1, round 2 if he was going to play for VFL. Will Edwards, this is a big one. He's injured, doesn't look like he's going to be ready for round 0. Callum Mills, people blowing up about that. That's just precautionary. We saw what happened with Nick Dacos. There's still value there. Paddy Snell targeting round 2. So we saw both Will Edwards and Paddy Snell out. Now this has a flow-on effect because we saw Tom McCartan playing in the forward line, and I think he may even line up in the forward line in this match sim, which will be a little bit annoying. But we see no McLean on the injury list, and we see no Marty on the injury list, obviously, because they're fit, it looks like. So there's that. So it looks to me as if, and I'm going to go out on a limb, and I could be completely wrong about this, that Sydney are going to run a defenders line or key defenders line of Melican, Rampy, and McCartan. I think McCartan's going to shift back there when the season comes to fruition. Then you're going to have the forwards of Marty and McLean, and then when Logan comes back, it'll be whoever's not performing out of those two. I suspect it will probably be McLean that drops out. So there's that. So that means Sydney's dropping out of their forward line effectively Luke Parker and Detor. And therefore, that's why I think flow-on effect is Corey Warner. And that's why he's a big, big watch in this practice game, because he's the one that I think could get that small forward role, which might not get any CBAs, but still going to be playing. And we know that small forwards, if if it is anything like we saw out of Corey Warner last year, he could average 45, 50, 55, somewhere around that marker, which is still plus 30, which I feel like could be slightly better than some of these other small forwards, or on par with them, and he'd also save you 50k or so. So that's why it's a big watch for him. So you got number 35 for Sydney. Let's actually look. So number 35's on the wing, and then I think you've also got someone else. So I'm trying to look at the teams here. Who's number 35? You've got Caleb Mitchell on the wing for Sydney, and then you've got Peter Adams in the ruck. Who's that as well? That's Chab Warner, and then you've got Rowbottom and Heaney in the first CBA for Sydney. So that's interesting. And on the other wing, I want to say it's Justin McInerney. So it's intriguing to see what's going on there with Sydney and how they're going to, I guess, set up. But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to see about the likes of Corey Warner, number 37, and how he sets up. So we'll see about that as the game has just started. And I'm sorry that I'm interrupting, but I think that was a key issue. And it looks like Braden Campbell has gone slightly on ball in the first stoppage outside of the centre square. So that's intriguing about that, as Chad Warner shifted more to a half-forward space, which is something we sort of expect to happen, I feel like, in games, which is intriguing. And yeah, Corey Warner's on this half-forward flank here, and he's gotten an early touch. So that's definitely intriguing, and they just muffed the inside ball there. So that's what I was sort of explaining with Corey Warner in live time. Well, for me, live time, but for you guys, a recording of it, is that Corey Warner is playing on that half forward flank, and sort of a role that we've seen Braden Campbell do in the past, we've seen other guys do, but I don't think there's not really been a true guy that does it. And I feel like it's a very similar-ish role to like a Bo McCreary from Collingwood. I feel like he's applying that forward pressure, but also can get up the ground as well and play slightly as a winger. So it will be definitely interesting to see how that goes there with respect to that. And Roberts has just got a disposal inside 50 there as well for Sydney early on. But so that kind of shows what I'm trying to say here as well. Then we go to the 300k range, and we'll see here. Kako's there, Tyru's injured, Hotton's injured, Robertson's not going to get a game. Dursman is what it is. Reef McGuinness comes into calculations as well. 324k. He looked good in the backline. We'll see how he goes in round 0. Apparently did pretty well in the match sim last night against in the trifecta match sim. Roberts is absolutely taking the piss down back at the moment. But yeah, so Kako going to get games, McGuinness going to get games, it looks like, and then you get a lot of these other guys that they're going to get games but not be impactful, I would say, is the best way to probably put it. So we'll see how they go, but I definitely think the guys that play round 0 could really score well. So yeah, that definitely is with respect to Connor Stone, Corey Warner. Braden Campbell, what price is he? I want to say he's 500s or 400Ks range. Kamaminti, he is, or is he going to be considered a midfielder? Campbell, let's just look. Forwards, let's go to, he's got to be midfielder then. Midfield 490, okay. I just thought he might get that forward status, but I guess it is considered a role change for him to play more forward of the ball than behind the ball. So there's that. As yeah, Marty looks pretty good. So this looks, the thing that I'm trying to say here whilst watching the Maxim, which is probably a little bit poor by me, is that the back line is going to be different to the forward line in the fact that the back line doesn't have the rookie flows. Like I said, with the back line, it's got Bo Allen, James Leake, Zach Reed, maybe Al Hawley, and that's about it. Whereas the forward line, you got Hewitt, Stone, potentially Corey Warner. Tom Hanley's potentially getting a look in, I would think, for the Swans with Caden Cleary's 2-game suspension. You've got Hutchinson, you've got Curtin, and we went through the guys in the 400k and 300k range and stuff like that, where you've got guys like Berry, Kako, Davidson, who are all going to play roles. Hall, sorry, not Small. Anyone else down here? Cooper Simpson could get a look in. We talked about Corey Warner. Constanti could get a look in as well. Will Hayes looks a little bit behind it, but could get a look in. You've got also Gothard, who could get a good look in there as well, and also Angrove, 230k. They all could get good look-ins, which if they get away to an 80-90 start, then there's no point almost having these guys with better roles if you're just going to get away with a guy from 230k or so. So that's why this opening round is crucial, and seeing these guys' roles and just hoping that they get a game is crucial. And that's why I think there should be big watches on the GWS and Sydney small forwards, because they're guys that could pop out a 60 or 70 and really be valuable there. So anyway, just a short video here as I want to get back to actually watching this game in full, watching how Sydney set up, etc. and GWS for their own part there. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a short rundown on the small forwards, and probably also as Corey Warner again takes a mark. So he's already up to 8-10 fancy points quickly in 5 minutes. So just shows how they can easily score an 80 or 90. And has he just kicked it to? No, he's kicked it to Heaney, not his brother. But anyway, I digress, I guess, in a way. This has been a slightly poor video on my part, but slightly also shows in real time why these small forwards can be useful. That they're very, very, they have a very variable scoring. It's very up and down, and how you can just pick a guy that scores 90 and the cash gem will just flow. But anyway, that's the video there. If you did somehow enjoy this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. If you're listening on Spotify, give me a follow and a rating over there, and I'll see you guys. I guess the next one that I'll record will be on the Sunday for you guys. Probably reviewing the Sydney GWS game, as that'll be the game that I watch the most. But I'll see you guys in that video. Bye, guys.